Okay, so for this video, I'm trying something a little different this time. So, as of me filming this a couple of weeks ago, as of you watching this a couple months ago, I acquired a giant saw blade. It's an old sawmill blade. Been looking for one of these for years, but never seemed to be able to get a hold of them. Someone had painted welcome on this. Got it at a garage sale. Some friends of my dad's were having it. I just happened to be walking by and got 3 of these for 10 bucks. Well, I got 3 for 10 bucks. This one's the biggest out of all of them. Anyway, I was kind of skeptical on taking them. You know, if it would have been 3 years ago, I would have jumped on it back when it's still basically just cutting and sharpening pre-tempered steel. But since I started blacksmithing, it's not as important because I can literally just go and grab any piece of steel and hammer it to shape and then reharden it without really any problem. So, it's really less important. But I said, you know what? It'd be kind of cool to do some different things. So I decided instead of forging something, I'm going to cut a machete out of this. So, my plan is I kind of have my design rough-ish sketched out. If you don't recognize it, I base it on the cold steel slant-tipped machete. I'll probably have the title of this video named something similar. I don't know yet. It's one of those kind of odd, like heavy chopper machete designs. So I figured, hey, why not? I'm not gonna lie, the only reason I decided to make this was because of the show Into the Badlands, which in the 2nd season, one of the characters has an army that's basically armed with cold steel machetes. You know, they're sword type. They're training karambits and trench hawks. So I thought it looked pretty cool because, not gonna lie, I kind of like cold steel stuff. I mean, I know they're not the best out there, but I think their stuff's pretty cool as a general. I don't buy a lot of it because I'm, make most of my own stuff. Anyway, not really important. So, but anyway, I decided I was going to try and cut one of these out. The handle's a little hard to get right, but I think I got it close. I'll probably just cut it square with this part coming off and then just kind of grind it till it feels right. Then, of course, I'm going to have laminated wood on it, which the actual one is some sort of hard plastic or polypropylene. I don't know which, but I'm just going to use wood because it's what I have. So before I get started, since this is hardened steel, you have to make sure it stays cool while cutting it. Otherwise, you basically ruin the advantage of using hardened steel and you might as well just use plate steel. So I'm just going to be kind of regularly pouring water on it. So if it looks wet, that is why. Okay, this is actually been a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I've cut some pretty tough steel. As you've been watching for a while, you know that I normally use like 5160 spring steel, which is, old leaf springs. I usually cut those down to shape. No temper, no heat cycling, nothing. They're fully hardened, and this is harder and also like considerably thinner. So I don't know what this is, but it's some hard stuff. So basically all I have left to do now, since the edge is mostly sanded in, I'll probably finish it up a little bit, but machetes like this don't have to have a really fine edge. In fact, they're better if they don't. It's a heavy chopper. This is meant to basically just, powerhouse its way through whatever the hell you put in front of it. And I think it's gonna do a hell of a job with that. But from now, all I'm gonna do is put the handle on, and with the steel being as hard as it is, I don't think my drill's gonna be able to drill through it. So I'm going to just take a punch, mark my spots for my pins, and then I'm just gonna take a blowtorch, stick this in the vise, and heat up the area around where those pins are gonna be, so that way my drill can actually go through it. Okay, so like I usually do with slab tang machete, or not just machetes, but swords and knives as well, I have this in the vise, got my drill here. Just gonna drill my holes out, so that way I can just take a 3/16 brass rod, epoxy that through, and I put the handle scales on, then just pinch it in the vise and come back tomorrow. And now the other side. Okay, so now that we have this clunky piece of wood glued on, I'm going to put it in the vise, just take a handsaw, cut some lines into that, chisel those out, then I'll take a Ferris rasp, give it a little more shape and form, then finish up with a belt sander. Then of course I'll probably burn it. I'm thinking about maybe just taking a rasp, heating it up, burning a pattern into it, kind of give it a bit of grip, and then some linseed oil as a sealant.